Hello again to all my friends, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, children of all ages. You know the rest of that line. Actually, I think that's it, but I digress. Mr. Benjamin is here, and today we're going to be talking about Chapter 6, which is integers. That's a very funny word that people often use, but they don't really know what it actually means. So today we're going to talk about that. And again, don't want to forget my smiley face. Maybe that smiley face isn't being seen, so I'll draw another one up here. Maybe that one's not being seen. I'll draw this one in red. There, see? Happy, smiling, everything. No pictures right now, but I guarantee there's going to be pictures later. Learning goals for this lesson. We are going to compare and order both positive and negative numbers. Now, when I say positive and negative, I don't mean they're really, really happy numbers and there's the really sad numbers. I mean the numbers themselves are physically positive or negative. So we could have positive 3 or positive 8. On the negative side, we could have negative 2 or negative 15. Now, just having that value or that phrase negative in front of them, it doesn't really mean much, right? But we will get into it for sure further. Now, another thing I want to make sure is that this sign here, this negative sign, that does not necessarily mean subtract. Not subtract or minus. But it actually means negative. Negative. Okay, so please keep that in mind. These are your negative numbers, and these are positive numbers. Definitions. When we talk about what an integer is, like I said, it's a word that people may use, and it's kind of, well, I know what it is, but I don't know what it is. An integer is all positive and negative numbers, which are whole. Keep in mind, these have to be whole numbers. And this includes 0. 0 is neither positive nor negative. So that's why we can't say it's a part of all positive and negative numbers. We have to say it on its own. So what? What does this all mean? Well, we're going to be looking at number lines, which is what we've got right here. We're going to be ordering our numbers. So let's say I have a whole bunch of numbers written down, like 2, 8, 12, minus 15, minus 3. We're going to put that in the proper order, either from least to greatest or least to greatest or greatest to least. Then we're also going to be looking at some symbols, less than or greater than, or even equal to, which are these three down here. Now the reason I have Pac-Man here is I always used to think that the less than symbol looked like Pac-Man's mouth, or an alligator, but I think Pac-Man's better. Now that might not really help you, but we'll talk about that as well. So when we talk about how integers work, we're going to do a little bit of an example here using this thermometer. If we look at this thermometer, it's almost acting like a number line itself. You can see there's a 0 right here, and then above that line we have positive numbers. When we talk about a thermometer in positive numbers, we think the temperature is warm. So, for example, today could be 11 degrees Celsius. Now, we in Canada go by Celsius, but some people still use Fahrenheit, and that's okay. Same idea. When you are above 0, it's generally going to be warmer. When you are below 0, I'm going to change my color here, it's going to be colder. These are your negative numbers. So we often use blue to represent cold and red to represent hot. If you think about some shower taps or things like that, or just sink taps in general, they will be red and blue. So positive numbers, we look at this list, we start at 0 here, plus 1. Oh, that looks really bad. I'm going to write it over here. Positive. So it has plus 1, plus 2, all the way to, it goes to about plus 50. Plus 50. Negative, same idea. Starting from 0, which is, remember, neither positive nor negative, negative 1, negative 2, all the way to minus 40. Now that's just on this thermometer here, but numbers can be positive or negative in the hundreds, in the millions, in the thousands. It doesn't really make a difference. Now the question is, if I have, say, positive 2, I'm going to make that red, just to keep in touch with our color scheme. If I have positive 2 and I have negative 4, and I ask you which value is greater, well, a lot of people are going to look at the number and be like, well, 4 is greater than 2. But it isn't. That's long enough of a pause for you to think. Positive 2 is going to be greater than negative 4. okay? Because negative 4 is underneath 0. Another easy way of looking at this is if we think about the game of golf. In the game of golf, you don't try to beat your opponent, you try to beat the course score. And the less points you have, the better in golf. The more points you have, that means you took more strokes, more hits of the ball to get your score. Another example we can use is number line. So if I have this number line here, I can say that my 0 is right here. And on this side of the number line, I have 4 as well. Now if I wanted to fill in the rest of these numbers, yeah, that's no problem. After 0 comes 1. After that is 2. I don't even need the comma there. And 3. So we go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, that's fine. But on the other side goes negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. We need to keep that in mind. On either side of the 0 is going to be either positive or negative. Right? So the numbers will still count the same way. The distance between each space is still the same. But the value changes in the sense that it is positive or negative. So this side is all positive. This side over here is all negative. And we can change up these numbers as well. We can make our number line go up by 2, for example. So this would be 2, 4, 6, 8. And in between would be our smaller numbers. So 1, 3, 5, and 7. And on this side, if we're following the same pattern, negative 2, negative 4, negative 6, negative 8. We can go up by 5s if we wanted to. So we'd have 5, 10, 15, 20. And if that's our pattern, if it's going up by 5s, we're going to have negative 5, negative 10, negative 15, negative 20. Kind of looks like a U there. There we go. Sometimes my zeros don't look complete. That's okay. So another thing we're going to be talking about is our comparison sign. So this is less than, this is equal to, and this is greater than. I'm going to write those out. So less than. Let's get rid of that and turn it into a colon. The equal sign means obviously equal to. And the final one is greater than. So in our previous example, we had two different numbers. We had negative 2, and, well, I don't think it was negative 2. It was negative, give me just a second. I think we were looking at positive 2 and negative 4. So if I needed to use one of these symbols, one of these three, in between these two numbers, I can say it's less than, I can say it's equal to, or I can say it's greater than. Well, positive 2, if I have $2 and someone else has negative $4, meaning they owe someone $4, obviously this is going to be greater than that. Want to try a different example? Let's try negative 8 and 6. Now negative 8, that means 8 under 0, and 6, it's positive 6, it's 6 above 0. So negative 8 is going to be less than positive 6. When we get into ordering these integers, again, we need to keep in mind the difference between our positive and negative numbers. So if we have negative 2, negative 6, negative 15, and positive 8, positive 3, positive 12. If we want to do from least, let's get a different color for this. Say least to greatest. When we say least, we usually mean the smallest number, the one with the least value. If we have positive 8, positive 3, positive 12, those are all above 0. These are all greater than 0. We have negative 2, negative 6, negative 15. These are all less than 0. So the negative numbers should be first in our list of least to greatest. Now, what is a lower number? Is negative 15 less or is negative 2 less? Well, I always like to think of money. If I owe someone $2, that's not that much. I mean, here you go. There's the $2 I owe you. If I owe someone $15, that's quite a bit of money that I owe. That means I have less money right now. So negative 15 is going to be our least value. Negative 15 is first. After that would be negative 6. After that would be negative 2. Now I'm done with all my negative numbers. So I'm now going to go on to my positive numbers. And when we're ordering positive numbers from least to greatest, we just go as we normally would. So it's positive 3, positive 8, positive 12. And again, I'm sorry, you probably can't see these last three. So I'm going to shift them up a bit. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps. If we wanted to order them from greatest to least, I'm going to do that on the next page. Greatest, oh, disaster. Greatest to least. And I'm going to have to take a look at my numbers again. So I've got positive 8, positive 3, positive 12, negative 2, negative 6, negative 15. In fact, I'm going to copy all this. Oops, I didn't mean to cut that. Oh well. There we go. That should be fine. So if I need to order these from greatest to least, positive 12 is my greatest. I'm going to use red for that. After that, it's positive 8. Then it's positive 3. Then I get to my negatives. Now, again, we have to keep in mind, negative 2 versus negative 15. Which one of these is the greater value? Negative 15, that looks bigger because it's 15, but negative 15 means I am missing 15 things. So that's pretty low. So negative 2 is the greater value. Negative 2, negative 6, negative 15. Now, one thing you can do is you can draw a number line for all of these. And say 0 is here. And say this is 1. Excuse me, let's fix that up. Say these are our negatives, negative 1, and this is positive 1, which I'm going to do in red. I had negative 12, or positive 12, positive 8, and positive 3. Let's put those on that number line. So positive 12, positive 8, positive 3. Now I'm going to go back to my negatives. I have negative 2, negative 8, or negative 6, excuse me. I don't know where that 8 came from. I'm going to get rid of that. And negative 15. So negative 15 was my least value. Negative 2 should be right here. And negative 6 is right there. So now I can look at them. If I want to order them from least to greatest, I start from here. If I want to order them from greatest to least, greatest is over here. And that is going to be it for today. So we're going to say thank you. And have our happy face. And I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much.